Hey, this is Jeremy with the Practical IT channel. It's Ubuntu 21.04 release day, and so we're going to do a quick install in VirtualBox and take a look at a few of the new features. Let's get started. All right, so here we are at VirtualBox. We're just going to go through this as quick as possible. Continue, give it some memory, continue, create, continue, dynamic, create, settings. All right, we're going to turn off the floppy, add a second processor core, bump up the video memory and enable 3D acceleration. Under storage, we're going to choose the 21.04 desktop ISO. Audio will leave alone and network is going to be bridged. Let's go ahead and get this started. Alrighty. We've got Ubuntu Safe graphic mode, OEM install for manufacturers, and test memory. We're just going to do a standard install this time around. So we've almost made it to the desktop. We're just waiting for some icons to populate, and we'll see what we end up with when the install is finished. All right. Install Ubuntu. English is fine. Normal installation. We'll go ahead and install third-party software while we're doing this. It'll take a moment while it's preparing the drivers, but all in all, this is not a bad process. So we'll wait on this for a minute. All right, erase and install Ubuntu. So they do have advanced features now. And this does allow you to use LVM or ZFS. We're going to just take the standard route. And we'll continue. New York is the proper time zone. And we'll fill out some information real quick. And I'm going to pause this while it does the remainder of the copying. And we will pick this up shortly in time for the reboot into the new system. All right, we're ready to restart and we can see what we have to work with the new system. Here we go. All right, here we go for the first login. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if we come down here, it does default. This Ubuntu entry is Wayland. So you still have the Xorg option if that's something you desire. Otherwise, when you log in, it's going to launch a Wayland session. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. And one thing I'm going to do right off the bat is, well, two things. I'm going to move it into full screen, which should help my cause here. And once we get through this wizard, I will change the screen resolution. All right, so as you can see, it defaults to 800 by 600. And normally what I go to is 1440 by 900. Gives enough of a usable space to work with. And we'll keep the settings. And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. So, one of the big changes that's under the hood, and if you're the only user of the computer, you'll probably never notice this, is that user accounts are now more private. So, as you build new users and they each have their home directory, it's not as easy to see what's in the other person's home directory as what it was in previous versions of Ubuntu. So let's add another user and take a look at this just for the sake of argument. We unlock this. All right, we're going to add a new user. And we'll assign a password. All right, likes that one better. We're going to leave this as a standard user. And we'll add Joe Sixpack. All right, so the way we could test this out is to open up a terminal. And we'll go ahead and maximize that. I'll make this a little larger for people to see. And we'll look at what our present working directory is. Home, Leik1JD. And so we're going to do an ls on home Joe Sixpack. And so you're now presented with permission denied, which is different to previous behavior. If we do sudo ls home J Sixpack, we can in fact see what's in his directory because we've got administrator privileges. Now, if we were to do switch user to Joe Sixpack and go into his directory, and we are in fact logged in as Joe Sixpack, and we try to do ls into my directory, it's going to give permission denied. And really, that's what we want to see. And then if we are going to be collaborating on something, we want to either use a public folder or share documents using a service like Nextcloud or Google Drive or Dropbox. My preference being Nextcloud, but your mileage may vary. And so this is a good step forward for security. Now, keep in mind that if you are currently on Ubuntu 21.10 and you are doing an in-place upgrade to 21.04, you will not get this feature. This is only for clean installs. So again, something to consider. You may want to back up an existing 21.10 system and do a fresh install to 21.04 if this is a feature that you would like to use. Okay, so other than that, and Wayland and some new backgrounds, the hippo being one of them, this isn't a big release as far as new features. We're still on GNOME 3.38. GNOME 40 may end up in Ubuntu 21.10, but it is not there in 21.04. This is here for testing. It is production ready, but again, this is only a short-term release version of Ubuntu. With any short-term release of Ubuntu, this is one of those your mileage may vary type of releases. If you are still on an LTS release such as 20.04, you may very well want to skip this release and wait for the next LTS version, which will be 22.04, and that is going to be approximately 1 year away. That's not to stop you from running this in a virtual machine or on a secondary computer if you have an extra machine sitting around that can be used for such things. I know for myself, I do keep an extra machine around for testing. It's usually a little lower spec, but it lets me see the basic changes, even if I can't make full use out of every single change that has been made available. So that's going to bring me to the end of this video. We've really just scratched the surface and covered two of the main big changes for Ubuntu 21.04. Yes, there are other things available, such as an updated version of different utilities, Python, Ruby, and all of those other behind the scenes pieces that make Ubuntu what it is. But for me, the big changes for this are the Wayland and the enhanced security for home directories. If you've got a particular feature that you'd like to see covered, head on down to the comment section and drop some feedback. That also helps the YouTube algorithm know that you like what you're seeing here and that I should continue to be making more videos. And if you haven't done so already, please take a moment to like and subscribe while you're down by that comment section. Thank you once again for watching. I appreciate your support. We are now over 2,250 subscribers, and I am looking forward to hitting 2,500 and beyond. On that note, thanks once again for watching. Stay safe out there. Happy computing, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.